Hello, welcome to episode 2 of the Made in the South podcast with your two favorite co-hosts, Ben Harmon and Lisa Harmon. We're here to bring you our second episode. We had fun doing it last week for our first episode. Thought we'd come back to do it again with our weekly recording.
Right. Mm-hmm. It was really fun doing it last week. I didn't realize how much fun we'd have making our own content, being in charge of what we say, what we do.
Yeah, because last week after we recorded, I didn't do it the same day we recorded, but that week I worked on, getting our audio hosted somewhere, getting it broadcasted to Spotify, to Google, to Apple. It's still working online, getting it uploaded on a couple of those platforms, but we are on Spotify. I think we're on Audible.
Oh, we are on Audible.
We're on Audible.
Pulled that up right away.
Gotcha.
Still working on Apple.
So just a reminder, our episodes come out every Saturday, so check us out then. We have interviews like this week. They'll come out on Monday mornings. So this week we're interviewing Amy, who owns Euphoric Cheese.
Right. She co-owns it.
She co-owns it.
Right.
She'll be here, and
they've been in business like 2 years, so I'm real excited to have her on and hear about her journey and the upcoming cheese festival. Yeah. I'm always talking about cheese. Yeah, so that's upcoming this week. We're going to interview her Thursday, and then that'll be out Monday morning. So make sure to check out that interview as well. You'll get some tidbits on the upcoming cheese festival going on later this month, info on her business itself, a little bit about her, who she is. One of our goals with this podcast is to interview people in our community, get to know them a little better, support their business. Because you and I are both strong small business supporters. So that's something that's very important to us. And that way we kind of find out how they got into whatever business they got into, kind of learn about their journey. We can learn from them, but maybe you can learn from them and not only learn from them, support them. Exactly. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of hang out for a bit and chat before we get into any of our topics that we have. I know we went for a walk today when we got home, but... Oh, we saw our 3 favorite big white dogs. Yeah, they see us coming, they're like, woohoo! Yeah, a bunch of our neighbors have dogs, so they always recognize us. So they came running to us and came back for more attention. Yes. I want to ask, how was your day? Everything go smoothly today? It was good. I did work, which I do enjoy my work, but I'm getting near retirement. Yeah. I really do enjoy it, but let me tell you what I really enjoy. I went to Home Depot and got some more plants. What'd you get? I got another raspberry plant because mine are starting to not produce as well. And then I got some You've had those for how many years now? Probably about 10 years. Yeah, I mean, it's a long time for a raspberry plant. And there's nothing like growing your own raspberries. Yeah, you walk home, open the door, and it's just a whole plate full of raspberries, blueberries, you name it. We've grown over the years. Yeah, tomatoes last year. Yeah. Speaking of my favorite plant you ever had, which we are nursing a new one right now, our peach tree. So, why are peaches so important to you, Mom? I'm from Georgia, so Georgia peach, and I always wanted to have a peach tree up here. And it's grown very well, but it finally... Yeah, well, we had one when I was, 7 or 8? Right. Yeah. And so then that lasted until... my second year of college, give or take, first year of college. At least. And then a couple storms hit it, some branches broke off. But we have a baby one in the backyard. It's got a little stick in the backyard, actually. Yeah, last year, I planted last year or 2 years ago. Oh, last year. Yeah, all of his leaves are gone, but I checked it, I think, 2 weeks ago. I think it's going to come back. It's looking better. I'm going to be taking some master gardening classes next year. Next year? That's something you could do in this area through the University of Tennessee. And learn more about taking care of trees because I love trees and plants and if you yourself flowers. If you yourself are a gardener or love gardening or have anything unique in your yard, feel free to email us a photo of that garden. We would love to see it and talk about it and give our take on it. Maybe post it on our Instagram for you as well. Because what's that garden that you went to downtown? With I think you went with one of your friends. It was stone and they own he's like the amateur stone mason is what he's called. I think so, yeah. And it was called Dr. Solomon's Gardens. Because that was a few months ago they went, right? Back in fall. Actually, it was spring last year. Spring last year? Time flies. Yeah, it's been a crazy last couple of years, but I know today from 9 o'clock until 1 o'clock I didn't stop working. I took a lunch break and then came back and kept back to it again. So my day job had me pretty busy today. But yeah, I mean, I know I posted on Instagram. Speaking of Instagram, we have an Instagram account now. Yes. I made it live, I guess, 2 days ago when I made it. But it's official. You can find it on Instagram at
Made in the South Pod.
Just P-O-D.
Yeah, podcast is a little too long, so Made in the South Pod. You'll see our image. You'll see a couple posts. One of us, our photo of you and me together.
Oh, that's right. When we went, well, we like to go, listen to me. We like to go downtown because we have many restaurants in our downtown area. So we thought we'll go try a new one Sunday.
Yep. So guess
picture
Sunday.
From that's on there.
Mm-hmm. So
what did you think about it?
Oh my gosh! I actually have the menu on my phone here. It was.
While you're looking it up, let me tell you the name of it's Olla Bia, which I know sounds unusual, but it's named after the owner's children, Olivia and Beatrice. So it's Olla Bia. It's amazing farm to table restaurant. Go ahead.
Yes. So we both got what was called the Olla Bia plate.
Right.
Which basically you can customize your dish. So you get meat, you get some sort of eggs, you do scrambled, fried.
Poached, right.
I got mine poached, and it was. Oh man, I could eat that every day if I wanted to. I love brunch and breakfast type foods, but I mean, I got the sausage. I was not expecting it to be so savory and so mouth-watering.
Well, what I read on the website is the owner goes and talks to the different farmers and the people that supply the ingredients to his restaurant.
It's all local farmers too, right? So it's all farmers around this community. They go and make direct contact with them and create a relationship with them. Right. I'd love to have them on the podcast sometime and talk to them.
Maybe they'd come on.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if you want us to interview the owners of Olla Bia, follow them on Instagram.
Right.
Tag them in comments. Tell them to find our podcast, talk to us, and hopefully we can reach out to them and
one of the most interesting things I thought at the restaurant is I can't remember what it's called because I can't pronounce it, but it was a turkey, shredded turkey, marinated with tomato. Ben's going to look it up. That was what I got for my meat. So,
yeah, everything is made in-house. There's nothing processed.
It was his grandmother's old recipe.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here.
He's going to look it up for us. We also got...
I'll try to pronounce this.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I have it here. It's called...
We'll try.
Mancha Mentalis turkey. It's like they soak it in, like you said, tomatoes, other seasonings, and it's very...
I actually had saved a little bit so I could have it for lunch today.
I almost ate it, but I was like, you know what, I won't do it. I'll save it for you.
I appreciate that. And then they served it with some nice, like, diced potatoes.
Yeah, you can dice tomatoes. Not tomatoes. Potatoes. There's also mashed potatoes, too, I believe, that you can choose from. Yeah, you can do diced fried tomatoes or griddle smashed. I assume it's like...
Right.
I assume it's somewhat...
Like a smashed burger, but it's a smashed potato.
Yeah. And then you choose some sort of bread. They have, like... You can find the whole menu on my Instagram as well. I posted it this morning.
I think Ben got the pancake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a lemon buttermilk pancake from Cruz Farm.
It was good.
So ingredients are from Cruz Farm. The biscuits are amazing too. You have the cheddar herb biscuit. Oh my gosh.
And they had like this delicious honey on the table. And then real butter. It was on top of the biscuit.
Yeah, I'm looking right now at just the entree we had. There's probably 40 different combinations you could do with it all. So you could go...
Depending on what you pick.
Yeah. Depending on what you pick and like, but you could theoretically go every day of the month and find something new.
We also got a couple of mimosas.
Yes.
What's in that?
It is champagne and orange juice.
Maybe orange juice. Let's go. We're being healthy.
Yeah.
We got a little
juice. Yeah, some vitamins, whatever, calcium maybe.
The entire dish was delicious. But one thing I want to warn you, let me just say this, is when we went down, we weren't expecting, but there's an hour and a half wait. Mm-hmm. So if you go on a Sunday... plan, like, go ahead, put your name on the list, and then we just walked down Gay Street.
Yeah, so Olla Bia is right on the edge of Gay Street, on the edge of Market Square. If you're not from Knoxville, basically, what we talked about in the last episode, Market Square is like a plaza with a bunch of...
this is more closer to the old city.
Yes, but Market Square is
in that area.
Gay Street goes right into Market Square. It's not much more of a walk. But we're talking about last week, it's like a plaza, a bunch of shops and restaurants and... We'll probably go into all the shops at some point and talk about all of them. I know we went to the old Mass General store. Right. I did not post a photo of that, but I plan to.
Well, they have candy barrels, and so we'll post a picture of those where you can go pick out whatever type of candy, old-fashioned candy, current candy.
I'll probably post that photo after this podcast airs. So for you all, it'll be today, but for us, it'll be Saturday. I'll post that after the podcast goes online. And then
men and women's clothes. They have all kinds of housewares.
If you go downstairs, like outdoors equipment, there's...
It's, what what do you call it, an institution.
Mm-hmm. It's been around forever, too, right?
Well, the original one was, and they opened the one in Knoxville. I'm not sure. Maybe Ben will look it up. But while he's looking it up, another place that I love down there that we went by and I did not partake was Cruise Farm ice cream.
That's your weakness.
It's my weakness. Every time I can, I go. They have rotating maybe about 15 different flavors of soft serve ice cream, and they'll serve it in a homemade waffle cone, and that is not to be missed. So while you're waiting for the restaurant, you can go in Mass General, across the street's the visitor center, and go in there and look around. So Ben's looking that up right now.
They have a very long history page, so I'll figure it out, and next time we'll talk about it again. And we can give
some
more
things you can't find quick.
We can do a more thorough review.
But it was a beautiful day. I highly recommend. Like I said before, there's 90 restaurants within a one square mile, not one square, of downtown.
One triangle.
One triangle, yes.
But I know Ala Bia is also close to Old City too. So we parked there maybe 3 blocks away, 2 blocks away. Free parking.
Free parking on the weekend and after 6. Now, let me tell you something. There is a parking lot there that's pay park. Check that. If you go in like on the street and under the bridge, like more your public parking, that's free.
Yeah, if you're on the bridge, there's like 3 or 4 different parking lots under the bridges. And I mean, I used to live down that way. And I used to park down there when I went down to the Old City. It's basically right next to the Old City. A bunch of spots are to hang out and go see. But
it was fun. Yep. It was a good day. We just said, hey, let's go. We took off.
Did you do anything else over the weekend?
I went to I know all the local theaters in this area, AMC, Regal, are showing at different times the Oscar nomination.
Oh, you talked about that last week, right?
Right, so.
Did you have a good time?
I did.
What was your favorite film you saw?
Women Talking.
Women Talking?
It was really good. I only went to a couple. It's all week long. And I'd seen most of the other films.
How many films total did they show, do you know?
I think I really don't. We posted it on our Facebook page, but there's like 10 or 12, whatever's nominated.
Okay. I didn't know if it was all of them or if it's just like what they could fit for the day.
They actually re-released. It's only $5. At Regal, it was only $5 a movie.
Remind me, was it just last week they did that, or is it?
They just started Saturday of last week.
Are they doing it again?
All week long. They do like 2 movies on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, 2 on Monday. They're kind of
okay, so it's spread out. So okay,
yeah.
So you just need the Regal app to find that out. Okay,
right.
That's good to know.
Or you can look on our Facebook page. I took a picture of their sign.
Oh, the whole schedule.
The whole schedule.
Okay, nice. I have not seen that photo yet.
Yes.
But we both do a share of posting. So some things I post, some things my mother posts.
Right. It just, whatever appeals.
Yeah.
I did make I went to a friend's birthday party and made a delicious Chex Mix.
Yes.
I forgot about that. And what I like to do, if I got this recipe from a friend of mine, and I transfer it to an index card, I put her name on it and the date, so every time I make it from now on, I'll think of her.
Come Sunday or Monday, you should post that.
I will. I could post that. Rest that.
Because I think every podcast we talk about food or recipe, we should probably post that recipe and just give an option. At some point, we'll make videos where we actually make the recipes too. Or if you have a recipe you love, you can send it to us.
Yeah.
Tag us on Instagram, email us. Hey, make a post on our Facebook page. We'll see it.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I do like to try new recipes. But I had told someone else about putting the name of the person that gave it to you and the date. And they're like, that's a great idea. So I encourage that.
I know our recipes, we call it by their name. It's like, I'm making up names right now. Susan's Cheddar Chicken.
Right.
Something like that you can just throw out there. Did you do anything else for the weekend? This past weekend?
That was probably it.
The only thing I did, Saturday, I spent the majority of Saturday setting up the podcast.
Well, as you know, we said before, he's the technical person, and it was probably more than you thought, but now to do.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
The time-wise was figuring out how to connect it to our domain name, connecting that to all the platforms that host the podcast. So it was just, everything had a unique way to do it. So every time I went to like Spotify had a certain way, Google had its own way of doing it.
Audible had its own way, I gotcha.
So I just had to get all those setups, all the connections set up.
I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't have had the patience to go through all that, so I really appreciate Ben not only being our editor, but our producer, our director.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I used to be awful at taking compliments, and I've gotten better.
Yes.
But Saturday was I also edited the podcast. So I'd say the bulk of I don't know the bulk of the time, but a good half of the time I spent Saturday was adding both episode 1 and the intro episode.
Right.
And then I also made the intro songs, the outro songs.
Right. We had to go through. There's some of the free libraries, and we went. It's hard to narrow it down to the song you like.
Yeah, because you have to go through a bunch of like royalty-free songs. Eventually, I plan to have our own custom song that's unique to our podcast, but that's down the road.
Yeah,
but
down the road. Now, what'd you do last night that your mom helped you with?
Oh, yes, last night. Sorry, my brain...
I was his camera person last night.
I'm a little tired and my brain was a little wishy-wash. But last night, so as we said last week, my mother and I are both actors. We both do acting outside of our day job.
Right.
And yesterday I had 2 auditions. One of the auditions, very nice of my agent. I did not catch it in time. And she was able to let me or talk to the production company.
Or production company, yeah.
And they allowed me to submit anyways and audition for it anyways with being outside the deadline. So that was very nice of them. I've worked for them before in the past, so maybe they remember me. But I did a voiceover audition too last night, so that was fun. Just a little self-plug here.
That's exciting.
If you do want to listen to my voice demo reel, it's on YouTube. So I do have a voiceover demo reel. It's mostly character voices, but it
sounds, you won't even believe it's when you hear Ben's everyday voice. Each character he has developed, he wrote the script, and he developed the character.
I wrote it myself, self-directed, self-acted, self-produced. There is no editing to the voice. The only editing was the music you hear in the background. That was it. And I clipped out excess I didn't need anymore, but there's no manipulation to my vocal cords. So besides my own self-physical
It's hard to listen to yourself. It really is, but
yeah. So Saturday I listened
really hard to listen to yourself.
I listened to our podcast over and over again to get it how I liked it lengthwise. I've gotten better at listening to myself, but it's still weird hearing my own voice and.
Oh, you do think I could have done that better?
I could have done it better.
All the things.
I coughed there. I made a weird sound on the mic. Let me redo that. So, but I don't know. I love it. I love acting.
I do too.
It's awesome.
I like being on set. I like creating characters, bringing a character to life.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, though. A lot of work.
Staying in the past, the last thing I did, which I know you don't care about it. I talked about it last week some. I watched the UFC fight Saturday night, and it was. I'm not a avid fight watcher, but it's probably one of the best UFC total events that I've seen in probably 3 or 4 years. So we had a great time. Probably about 9 of us there.
Well, that makes it fun. Yeah. I mean, did you have good snacks? That's what I always care about.
We did. We had pizza, chicken, tequila, and it was a great time. A bunch of friends hanging out, and one of my friends who's married, he and his wife came for a little while, and they were still, she was exhausted. She works 4 days a week, but 6 to midnight. She works long shifts.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but we had a grand time. Didn't win any of my bets, but still had a good time.
A little bit sad. But.
Yeah. But I guess we can move on throughout now what's coming up this week. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow's Wednesday. And do you remember what happened last Wednesday? Something we watched.
Oh, I thought he was talking about my wine tasting class. I mean, it's giving me the look like the side eye.
That's all she can think about.
My wine tasting class. And I go to Campbell Station Wine and Spirits for their wine tasting.
I think we mentioned it briefly last week.
I did. And Amy, who's going to be on, we're going to interview her on Thursday. She's the one that provides the charcuterie boxes for the wine tasting.
For those of you that don't know, charcuterie box is a assorted box of cheeses, meats, fruits that usually pair well with whatever you're drinking.
And usually Amy throws a piece of chocolate in, too. So I appreciate
a little treat. She will be here Thursday.
Right.
For you all, the interview should be coming out Monday morning, but we'll be talking to her this Thursday.
But I know Ben was not in...
That's not what I wanted talking about to start with.
He was giving me the eye about chocolate and wine and cheese. But we did watch one of our very favorite shows.
The Mandalorian.
Yes. Which
aired episode 1 last week. And episode 2 comes out technically tonight, but at 3 o'clock in the morning. So we won't be watching it tonight.
No, we will not.
But I think your favorite part is Grogu, the little cute baby Yoda character.
I do love Grogu. I like his coming into his own. I like the relationship that's building between him and Mando. Mm-hmm. I like if he wants a little snack. He just got him a little jelly bean that looked like off someone's desk. I liked him swirling around in the chair, having fun.
I think we could do
love him.
Especially if you all listening want us to, we could do a dedicated episode review So or maybe we could do like...
That'd be fun.
When like half the season's done, review the first half of the season. Have an episode just dedicated to talking about...
And Ben knows a lot more of the details, because even something that happened I was like, what are those things going by? Well, he knew exactly what they were.
So for me growing up, when I was a kid, the originals, well, that's all I had was the originals. They were already out. So I watched those religiously as a kid. Right. And then the prequel movies came out when I was at the correct age. Like I was like 10, I think came out. No, younger than that. Like 99 when the first one came out. So I
don't know. I'm not good with
dates. So I was like 5 or 6 when the first movie came out, or episode 1 came out. And
then he watched the Clone Wars. I mean, he watched all Star Wars content before Mandalorian came out. What were the other ones called? I can't remember.
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And Andor, which I loved.
Yes. So when I was younger, I was an avid gamer. So I played the Star Wars video games, and I got into more so like the comics and books and things like that. So I'm not a huge lore master or anything like that, but I know a broad...
He knows more than me, let's put it that way.
A broad breadth of Star Wars. It's probably my favorite sci-fi overall series. So.
Oh, speaking of sci-fi, I am considering... I liked a lot of the older shows, and I like knowing a show when it started and then it had an ending. They didn't just chop it off mid-season. So I think I'm going to start rewatching Fringe.
Oh, yeah. You were obsessed with that show when it first came on.
When it first came, I watched every episode back when it was on.
I remember when I was a kid, I hopped in random episodes, and I was like, what is going on? Yeah,
it was early in J.J. Abrams' career.
Yeah, but I have heard good things. Still to this day, I still see it pop up randomly in like a YouTube video or a random tweet somewhere talking about Fringe.
Well, in The Last of Us, what's his name?
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal's girlfriend in The Last of Us, she was the main character in Fringe.
She was, wasn't she? Yes. I know I told you that originally, and I forgot all about it.
Yes, I was like, oh. So
I remember I was like, do you know who that is? She's like, no, who? And I was like, think a little blonder hair, a little younger.
I didn't recognize her until once I knew, of course I knew it was her. But I'm excited I'm going to start rewatching that.
Yeah. With my mom, I like to give her guessing games where I'll give her hints until she guesses it. It could be like, what did I eat for dinner last night? And she has no idea. She wasn't with me, and I'll be like, there was music. There was bread, chicken.
like when he looked at me like, what did you do? What about last Wednesday? I'm like, wine?
Yeah.
Was it wine?
Wine, cheese, chocolate? Like, no, Star Wars.
No, Star Wars, of course.
But yeah, so I guess just moving on chronologically, Thursday we have Amy coming over. So we'll be doing an interview with her. I will be here present for the interview, but due to space, I won't be directly... You'll be the primary person interviewing her. I'll be in the room, managing the computer, make sure the audio is good, doing more producing on Thursday. Right.
Which is very helpful.
Yeah. But I have some questions that I have created already that if I don't hear them, I'll interject and add a couple, my two cents, or if we're just chatting, hanging out, I'll put a comment in or so.
Thank you for that. You always need the background person, kind of supporting what's going on.
Keeping everybody on track. But yeah, so Friday, I don't think I have anything Friday. I think my Friday is pretty open this week. I think Friday I'll be doing all the editing, so I'll be doing a lot of behind the scenes getting the podcast ready for the upload on Saturday.
I'm trying to think what I have coming. Oh, well, it's March right now. But in April, I have signed up for a walking tour of my town. Ooh. So every Wednesday, we're going to visit a different part of Knoxville.
You said that's in April?
In April. Every Wednesday.
Gotcha. So remind me, I'm sure you'll bring it up on the podcast, but I'll make sure to talk about that because I'll forget that you went to it without me.
Yes.
Oh, speaking of going somewhere without me.
Yes.
What are you doing Saturday?
Well, we're taking off. Now, of course, there'll be someone here, but I'm taking off for Savannah. And I've only spent like a day there before, but now I'm going to spend like 4 or 5 days and just chill. Be with all the weeping, I don't know, what are they called, the trees?
Weeping willows.
The weeping willows, the magnolias. It's a beautiful southern town.
It really is. I think I went with you last time, correct? And we had
about 4 or 5 years.
It was like a waffle with a lemon zest, something on top of it. I forget what it was, but it was really good. Like a little breakfast waffle, like a dessert waffle.
Right.
But yeah, you and my dad are going. You guys are going together.
Yes.
Do a little vacay where I'll be here taking care of the house and not throwing any house parties.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Maybe I'll invite my friends over a couple times and hang out. Something small. I don't feel like going crazy this week.
As long as he cleans up, I don't care.
We have a few giant trash cans,
Yeah.
We get all clean. No, I'm always responsible. I keep it.
Pitch in.
I keep it tidy.
Which I appreciate. Let's think. Anything else coming up?
Yeah, I mean, this weekend, you guys will be gone. I'll be in town. I think I might go hiking this weekend if the weather's nice.
We live right on the edge of the Smoky Mountains.
Yeah, you can get to some really nice trails, like 40 minutes from our house. It's not bad. You can go any direction and you'll hit the mountains. So that's one good thing about Knoxville is you're right in the middle of a valley, pretty much.
Right.
And you look all around, and I know from our neighborhood you can see mountains in the distance.
Right. There's even a big mountain here in town called House Mountain, which I've never hiked.
I've never heard of that before. House Mountain? Oh, wow. Okay. I'll have to check that out. But yeah.
I keep saying I'm going to do it, but I haven't.
That's probably what I'll do this weekend. Saturday.
You should.
So Friday, I plan to do the editing. Saturday, I'll get it all uploaded, and I'll make sure everything's smooth and working. Try to see if Apple's good to go.
Right.
And Google's good to go.
We're still in the beginning stages, making sure people can find the podcast.
Yeah, it's one thing I didn't realize last week when I uploaded, which, I mean, it was on our website, but for Apple, it was 14 business days before it would be available for the public. Now, that's on the far side. It could be 7 days, but it was almost 2 weeks until it'd be available to find on Apple, which makes sense if they're a big business, but
it does, because it went right up on Audible, which was nice. And then you can always get to our podcast just...
Yeah, if you go to manthesouthpodcast.com, it'll take you right to our feed, and you can find all of our episodes there. So if for some reason, whatever platform you like to watch podcasts on is down, they are all available for free at manthesouthpodcast.com. We do love if you want to subscribe on your platforms. That helps us out.
Yes.
That way you are notified whenever...
new podcasts come out.
Yeah, new podcasts. We're going to upload every week, but if we take a vacation sometime and we're not available, you'll know when we come back, but it should be every Saturday. But yeah, this weekend's kind of boring for me. I don't have a whole lot going on. It's here Sunday. I'm sure I have something going on that I forgot about, but I plan to hike.
Hiking?
I'll probably go Saturday hiking. Go early in the morning. But
I always have great plans for those things, but then I'm like, maybe not.
Get up, have a little coffee, make some bacon, go outside on our porch, hang out for a little bit. I will say I love the weather is not so rainy anymore. There's actually some sunshine.
I mean, there was mushrooms growing in my flower beds because it had been so rainy.
I know that the road drains are backed up and there's sticks and leaves and muck and you name it inside them all.
True.
And behind our house we have the neighborhood drainage easement or
right.
It's I always called it a creek as a kid, but it's for water excess drainage off or drain off. But it was a river.
It was doing overtime.
Yeah. It was a river and it's flooding down behind our house, but we're used to that. But we've had a lot of rain here in Knoxville the last
I'm ready. I'm ready for a little sun, a little clear sky.
A little constant 70, just nice sun
not
outside.
Hot, not cold.
I'm trying to think of what else I have going on.
Just think.
You guys will be gone for a few days while I'll be taking care of the house.
Yes. I'm sure. Hopefully, we'll go on some adventures.
Yeah, I know when you get back, I can talk to you about your vacation, and because
I'm sure I'll find some good food.
Make some new friends.
Yeah, I'll make new friends. I like to make new friends.
We walked through a few houses today on our walk.
Yeah, they're building some houses, and we went through them. And
made
new friends.
A few houses, 1,000 houses. Oh my gosh! But I think every day there's a new neighborhood popping up.
True, growing.
Yeah. So I know that we're doing houses. What were you eating when we got home, or before I got home from work?
We're really close by to us is Dollywood, which, by the way, has Pass Holders Day Friday. So if it's pass holder, gold or diamond. For
those of you not from the surrounding area, Dollywood's Dolly Parton's little amusement park. It's not little, but it's an amusement park. It's you have a themed park, roller coasters, rides, music shows, cultural food, local vendors, artisans.
And they're opening a brand new roller coaster this year, Big Bear.
That sounds exciting. We are both high thrill seekers.
Yes.
So it's something that we always have to find new coasters, new theme parks, new anything really.
And they're gonna have a new mountain coaster at Anakeesta, which is in Gatlinburg.
We'll probably do an episode where we talk about Sevierville purely.
All the fun things. There's a lot to do there. But anyway, so when we go to Dollywood, they have kettle corn, which is a sweet corn, and I wanted to figure out how to make it myself. So we have what's called a whirly pop. And if you never heard of that, it's a big metal container with a lid, and you turn the handle. You crank it. You put whatever you want in the pot, usually oil and popcorn. But what I wanted to try to make kettle corn. So another thing I want to add is I like the white popcorn better than the yellow. And you can buy it in bags. I've only found it at Kroger, but you can buy it in the bag. And I found out if you add 3 tablespoons of sugar and a sprinkle of salt and stir that popcorn until it pops, it tastes just like the kettle corn at Dollywood.
That's good.
And
that's
it's
good to
really,
know.
really good.
Yes. It's a common occurrence in the household.
Yes. When you walk in the house, you know popcorn's been popping. And now I've been spoiled because it tastes better on the stove than it does out of the microwave.
If I recall, for New Year's, didn't you make a bunch for everybody that was there?
And the girls were like, she made popcorn for us. So, it is.
They're like, your mom's so sweet. I was like, she is very sweet.
I was like, it's just popcorn, but it's delicious.
Yeah, well, I mean, speaking of saying it's just popcorn, I think something we talk about all the time, but which I think most people don't truly understand the value of is like making food for somebody else just because is probably the biggest sign of care for love or whatever you want to call it. Like it's the biggest act of service you could do is provide sustenance for somebody else.
Right. I took a big pot of soup over recently to one of my coworkers because her husband in the hospital and her daughter was getting over flu, and her husband wrote me a thank you note because he was so appreciative.
That's sweet of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's close to us wrapping up this episode. So I don't want to go on too long and wrap up all the time we can upload for the month. So I think probably start wrapping up pretty soon.
There's nothing's really coming to mind, but I'm sure as soon as we'll get off, I'll go, I should have talked about that.
You're about to go on vacation, so we're going to have a lot of stories next episode when we come back.
Right.
We're going to have an interview coming up Thursday that we're doing, and then we'll put that up Monday. But I wanted to thank all of our listeners because already I think I checked, the first day I uploaded the podcast, like the first few hours, we already had like 20-something views, listeners, and I was like, I just uploaded this, guys.
Good news.
Yeah. People have already started following us on Instagram, on Facebook as well.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, we really do. I mean, this is just a little passion hobby of ours that we thought, you know what? People keep saying we should share it with other people. So we started it up, thought we could, share a little light, have some wholesome stories, just hang out mother and son, have a good time together, and let people share on that. Maybe in the future join us at random events that we go to. So
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Of course, I need to do my joke for today. Okay?
Yes, yeah. We always want to end our podcast with a good joke. If last week is history, we always talk a little bit past the jokes, but we thought we'd end this episode with a joke, or try to at least.
Yeah.
What's your joke, Mother?
All right, my joke today is: I went to a smoke shop only to discover it had been replaced by an apparel store. Clothes, but no cigar.
Oh God. Yeah. You had me seriously thinking, I was like, that's the end of the joke? That's not a very good joke. And then you got me with the punchline. That was pretty good. So my joke is food-based.
Okay.
Because yesterday we had sushi for dinner.
Right.
It was yesterday, right?
Right.
Okay.
It was yesterday.
My brain is so gone today.
Speaking of that, before you tell your joke, the place I got sushi from is called the Fresh Market. I know they have them in Atlanta, but they have them here. They have $5 sushi on Thursdays.
Is it like a 12 count, or how big is it?
Whatever package we got, it was like a 12 count.
Did you have the same amount I did?
No.
Oh,
I gave you more, honey.
It's probably a 10 count then. But yeah, still that's a great deal though.
So anyways.
Yeah.
I like a deal.
So I know I said it's joke time. You made me think of a story.
Okay.
The Fresh Market, I have a very sweet memory of that place because that was one of your mom's, not one of your mom's, but your mom's, one of her favorite places to go.
Absolutely.
So I went so many times as a kid with her. And I don't know. I have a soft spot for the Fresh Market.
We have 2 in town, so I tend to go to the one that she didn't go to because it's almost too hard for me to go to the other one. Yeah. That was her place.
Your mom was a very sweet lady. I miss her. But to lighten the mood, I have a joke.
Oh, yes.
And it's based off sushi. So
okay.
Or sushi made me think of the joke or look for this joke. So, you and I eat a lot of Asian food. We eat a lot of cuisine that you need things that you do, like duck sauce, egg rolls, wontons, whatever. We love that type of food. So how do you get an egg roll to move?
How do you get an egg roll to move? I don't know.
You push it. Get an egg roll.
I did get it at
to
first.
Get an egg to roll?
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't think I delivered it quite right, but yeah. All right, guys. I think it's where we wrap up episode 2 on a cringy level, but that's how we love it here at the Harmon House.
Yes.
But guys, thank you again for listening to the Man in the South podcast. We'll have episode 3 up next week, same time, same day. And also, make sure you check out Monday with our interview with Amy and learn more about the Cheese Festival later this month. And maybe you can see her there.
I think there's still a few tickets left.
Still some tickets left? We'll ask her Thursday.
We'll double check on Thursday.
But guys, let's wrap it up. Treat each other well. Have a great week.
And always be kind.
Yep. See y'all next time, guys.
Bye.